So I'll just tell you my story. I arrived to the UK 10 years ago. Actually, this month marks my 10 years anniversary here. I moved to do my studies, so I did my master's in marketing at Durham University. And when I was working on my dissertation, I went to see my family for the last time. It was September 2010, I think. So after my master's, I worked in the suburbs of Newcastle. I started doing door-to-door sales. And after that, I moved to Lake District, and I did some hospitality jobs. I worked as a kitchen porter while I was applying for jobs in London. And then I managed to find the job of my dreams. I joined the Intercontinental Hotels Group in the head office, and I was a global account manager. So I used to deal or manage relationship between our key clients, big corporations that spend a lot of money with our hotels across the globe. So I used to lead the negotiation and the relationship with these corporations. And during my years of experience, I spotted a gap in the market, which is booking meetings and events. Large corporations spend 1 to 3% of their revenue on meetings and events. And I realized it's still all manual. But I couldn't start any product at the time. I wanted to start it, but I couldn't because at the time I had my 2 years work permit. And then I was clearly trying to prove myself in my company to be able or to get a sponsorship. So I really worked hard. And after 2 years, my company offered me a permanent contract and they sponsored me. Then after a few years, I thought, the war started in Syria and I can't go and see my family. And I really wanted to do my startup. And the only way to do it, I had to give up my highly skilled visa and I became refugee just to have the right of a Brit to work wherever I can work. So I went through a whole process and I became a refugee. And of course, I took a massive gamble because I can't go and see my family who live in Aleppo. And I have 4 younger siblings and my dad. We don't have a mother. I lost her to cancer in the brain in 2007 before I moved in here. So after I got my citizenship or my refugee status, I quit my job and I started working in IT sales. And while I was working there, I traveled to Bulgaria and I started working on my startup, which is called Wizme, which stands for Wizard for Meetings and Events. So I spent every penny I had, worked on the product, quit my job. First attempt pretty much failed. And in 2017, beginning of 2017, I was in a relationship, but during this relationship, me and my ex-girlfriend were not the best fit, but she's been everything for me because I didn't see my family, and being a startup founder, I had to spend every penny. So even my relationship with my friends, I was not there. My friends contact me to go out with them one time, second time, and then I apologized, and then I kind of disconnected from the world, being a startup founder, and I was with this girl. So it was a spinning plate in my life. I had to break up, but I became homeless. I had nothing, and I can't ask my family for any help at the time because they still live in Aleppo, and actually I am the one who should support them and send them money. And a friend of mine offered me a sofa to crash on. That was March 2017. So at the time, it was my lowest low. I had really nothing. Someone offered me an opportunity to go to France and present in front of 120 business owners my product. And of course, as a startup founder, crazy, I don't make any sense. I just said, yes, I'm gonna go. I had less than 2 months to go and show a product to 120 business owners. My friend who was hosting me was, no, mate, what are you gonna do? You've got no product, no team, no money. You've got less than 2 months. What are you gonna do? I said, I will manage. Hustle my way. I went through crazy experience, and at the end, I managed to build a prototype. And 1 week before the event, I realized people are staying in a resort, and it was out of Nice. And all I was thinking, I can stay with Airbnb and spend a bit of money and just stay there. And then I remembered I have a credit card. I called the bank and I activated the card. And then I called the organizers, guys, is there any room available? Oh, no rooms are available. On Friday, I was on my way to the airport going to Nice, and someone rang me and say, hey, Nour, it's Sonia. I said, hello. Oh, there's someone who canceled their room. Would you like to take it? And I said, of course, I'll take the room. I canceled my Airbnb booking, and I went there. The rest is history. I managed to meet a company or an agency owner that spends in meetings and events 23 million pounds, and I convinced him to invest in me. And I managed to get, as a result of that event, an investment from 15 strategic investors who are all industry insiders. Funny story, I put my credit card to pay upon checkout, and the room was paid for because the guy cancelled on the date of the arrival, so I saved 600 quid. So I was like, all right, yeah, cool. And then my friend was, no, clearly the stars are aligned. And of course, my friend, his name is Nick. I never forget what he's done to me, because he hosted me in really difficult times. He bought a bed for me. He assembled the bed, which was amazing. And he didn't ask me for any money during that really bad period in my life. So I got the money and I started building a product in London. So of course, with limited resources, what can you do? So I started building a prototype in London, and then I started testing. After testing the market, the product, so we did an RFP tool, request for proposal, when you contact many suppliers via Wizme to get proposals for your event. So I started testing the tool myself, and I just realized where the pain points in the process. And I had really limited cash left at the time, and I thought, what can I do with that limited amount of money? First thing that came to my mind, well, I have very big network, so what if I can tap into Syrian talent, and maybe I can offer people jobs from here. So I can tap into great talent, give them hope, give them the opportunity to grow, I give them the opportunity to support their families. But then I was shocked to know that sanctions against Syria are against civilians. If I wanted to pay a young, innocent engineer in Syria $500, I'll have sanctions against my company and no one will work with me. And I was like, is this serious? But of course, as a founder, I had to hustle my way. My brother is in Egypt. He's a banker. So he fled the war with my other sister and my youngest brother, and they live in Cairo. So I said to my brother, there are no sanctions between England and Egypt, why don't you set up your own company in Egypt? So my brother set up a development house in Egypt, and we recruited Syrians through him. So between our company and his company, there are no sanctions, and then through him, he can deal with Syrians. So now I have a team of 11 engineers. 8 of them are based in Syria, and 3 are based in Turkey and Egypt. We just launched the product, and we're really getting amazing feedback from customers. I'm very proud of my team. In fact, my team in Syria really inspired me. They gave me bigger purpose than my dream with Wizme, just to solve the problem in the market. I feel with those guys, I can do something for Syria. I can grow Wizme. I can have, instead of 8 engineers, I can have 100. We can do schools, at universities, and I get my team and to teach young engineers in Syria what they need to do for the job, for the market. And as we know, there's a shortage of engineers, and I sit here I have a very big network, and I can connect the dots, and companies outsource development to other parts of the world. So I think I can help with my company, give hope to young people there. Because reality is, we all talk about refugees, but we tend to forget about the refugees who live in Syria or who live still in war zone, because those people also, they have a horrible life, and unfortunately they don't get the support at all. So this is my story, which I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for listening.